Okay, so this semester in natural science, we learned a lot about the environment and things that affect the environment, and we learned that the planet Earth isn't infinite, but it's finite. So there are a limited amount of resources that we have and that are running out. And also, we learned about the effects that human activity like commerce and farming and overpopulation can have on the planet. So the first thing that I can remember that impacted me that we learned was the whole conversation we had about chemicals that people use for farming, pesticides that go into the waterways and that poison the water and that create environments where fish don't have oxygen and they die, and there's a huge problem in the Gulf of Mexico. So I never knew about that. So I learned about that, and that was really impacting how um, the impacts of American and international overconsumption of food can have on the supply of fish. And also we talked a lot about overfishing and the effects that the sushi market can have on species like the bluefin tuna and and other species that are being overfished out of the water, and how that affects the ecosystem of of the ocean as a whole, and that how that can affect um, the populations of other animals that aren't preyed on, and how that disrupts the balance in the ecosystem, and that how that can affect and destroy the resources that we have. We also learn about consumption, especially like out of everything that we talked about, but the thing that most impacted me was the movie, The Story of Stuff, and how um, we are in uh, right now. Production is a linear system, but you can't run a production in a linear system in a finite planet, and how if everyone consumed that the U.S. level, we will need 3 to 5 more planets, which is incredible, and how only 44% of U.S. forests are left, and that is just that you really never think of that. And also, we watched the movie, and something that impacted me was our whole conversation about plastics, and we watched the movie called Bag It, and how plastics. I never knew that plastics were things that couldn't be biodegradable, or that recycling everything that's not made of plastic is meant to be recycled. So that's a huge problem. So I also learned that. And as far as impacting my life, I've tried to be more responsible in what I buy, and not using plastic bags when I go to the supermarket, and conserving electricity, and just being more mindful of the things I do or the things that I buy as a consumer, so that I can make an impact on on in the world and in my community. And I've also volunteered my time to clean up along the Charles River um, in the World's Day of Service. So yeah.